Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tamal Mukherjee on behalf of Literoma. And as you all know, that on 16th of June, the book launch is going to happen for Literoma, Tagore and Romance Compendium 2024. And we're so glad that we have a set of writers who have joined us in this virtual ceremony today. And they are here. And we're so glad that actually the ceremony is happening before the offline event tomorrow. And some of the very senior writers and creative souls, I'm honored to be here with them in the same panel. So welcome, sir, Satish sir, welcome Aarti ma'am, welcome Ankur ma'am. So welcome all three of you. So
thank you.
Thank you.
To begin with, I like to go to all of you one by one with your introduction, because we all know that this particular compendium is actually on the theme of Tagore and romance, and which are probably the two immortal themes that one can think of. And with that context in mind, we'll like to hear your introduction for the entire Literoma family, not just the Literoma family, but to everyone who will be actually seeing this video once it go to the public domain. So I like to start with probably with Ankur ma'am. I can see her the first on my screen, so that's where I'm going. So if I may ask Ankur ma'am, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Kamal. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Ankur Rastogi Gupta. I'm a short storyteller, short story writer, a blogger, and an author. I have written a book which is titled as Teenager's Journey Through Mom's Eye. Currently, I'm penning down my new novel, which is a hardcore fiction, completely different from the topic what I have written before. I am MBA in HR. I've been working in training and development. And this is where I got an opportunity to first time come in contact with human behavior and their complexities in life. And it fascinated me so much that I started writing more about on these topics only. Well, I'm a classic case of a career woman who left her job to raise the kids. But that journey I really cherish like anything. I have no regrets. I'm back again after 20 years, now as a writer. I've been writing from past 3 years. My articles are generally published in the magazines. And talking about the stories, the set of stories which I've been writing, they are basically based on, as I said before, on human relationship, their behaviors, their thought process, their well-being. There is two particular stories in general I want to talk about. It is, they're very close to my heart if you say that. One is Beating the Thoughts in Silence, where I had penned down the thought process of a teenage boy and the parents and how he goes and the parents goes in his journey for the future. My latest story has been published in Literoma, which is Wandering into the Nostalgic Lane to Steal a Promise, is a hardcore romantic story. It's about a couple who are deeply in love with each other, but somehow down the line, they get so busy in their routine activities and responsibilities that they start disconnecting with each other. Well, the destiny plays a game changer here. They go on an unplanned journey, a journey where they get to come into the memories of where they have fallen in love for the first time, and how these memories make them realize how much they have been missing each other's companionship, the bond between each other, and their regrets, their mistakes, and finally a promise they seal to each other. How I got inspired from this story is looking around the couples around me. It's a story, I should say, majority of couples will relate to. Though they are deeply connected to each other, but time of responsibilities disconnects them. So this is all about the story I have written. And I would like to give a special thanks to Literoma for giving me this opportunity to publish this story on such a esteemed platform and giving me the opportunity to come in contact with all my author community. This is the first time I'm talking to them face to face. So thank you so much for that. I hope we continue meeting each other. Thank you.
Absolutely, ma'am. And I'm so glad that coming from a human resource background, you have picked it up. I'll tell you a quick anecdote. I keep actually discussing this with one of my friends
Yeah.
who is actually contemplating taking up writing, and he's actually also from the human resource background. I asked him this particular point that you actually are that set of people, that function, who see people in all facets, not just when they're joining the organization, through the HR operations, also through their learning, and also to in their exit. So you can
Yeah,
actually
we actually see their entire growth charts
enter.
from a trainee to a CEO level,
Absolutely.
and the tremendous change in their behavioral patterns, their thought
Right.
of thinking is phenomenal.
Correct, correct, absolutely. So this is something which is I'm so glad that actually someone actually people from other functions, some of them I know who had actually taken up writing, and probably you are the first one who is from HR background whom I am meeting who has picked up writing, and I'm so glad that I had met you. So keep it up, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll definitely
Thank you
look
so much.
forward collaborating with you again in future.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
okay, okay,
I'll be collaborating with you. I'll be coming out with my novel also very soon.
absolutely.
So I'm looking forward for Literoma as my platform.
Absolutely. We too are looking forward to it. Now I'll come back to you, ma'am, once again. But
Yeah,
again,
sure, sure.
before that, I'll go to Satish sir once. So Satish sir, before actually I pass on the mic to him, I like to say one of the things about sir in the last quarter, actually, sir had contributed, other than other writings, actually, sir had contributed one audio piece as well. So, in fact, last week we were looking at the Radio Literoma report, and that actually went on to be the most hard piece in our Radio Literoma in the last quarter. So, sir, congratulations for that. Slightly off track,
Thank
but I
you.
wanted to congratulate you for that since you are here in this panel.
Thank you.
And with that, sir, over to you for your introduction.
Thank you very much. I'm Dr. Satish Gaikwad. I'm MD in medicine. I worked in Air India as a director of medical services and retired from the job. Now I'm practicing in my clinic at Juhu. Now, being a doctor, I naturally have come in contact with large number of people who have sufferings. And in process, they become part and parcel of my family. And their sufferings were my sufferings, that empathy grew. In 1993, Mumbai witnessed riots. There were lots of bomb sports and structures like Stock Exchange, Centaur Hotel, Air India building, they were damaged. So many innocent human beings were killed. And that shocked me. And I was really in a depression with great sadness. And in that melancholy, I thought, why the human beings treat other human beings like this? And in that situation, I wondered the so-called sensitive human beings in society, the poets, the writers, they kept mum. They did not utter a word about the situation. And I was really shaken by that muteness of theirs. And then I wrote my first poem in Marathi, Ani Yamake Gaau Lagne. That was satire in which I attacked the entire community of poets and writers and asked them, is it the way you are going to write, and is it your foundation of your literature? Are you not part of this society? And are you not going to be empathizing the people who are suffering? That's the question I asked them. And that was my first poetry collection that was named as a Gaikwad Legend. Thereafter, I wrote another poetry collection. And in that, I brought one subject. When I was being a doctor myself and being a student of science, I had realized there is a depth in science And at a higher plane, science and literature and poetry, they are in on the same wavelength, and therefore they have really link, and the link with science has to be exploited. By and large, people from literature circles, they are somewhat against science, and they really do not entertain science in poetry. To give example, Edgar Poe, the American poet, he once said, "Science, the true doctor of old times, who altereth all things with thy peering eyes, why prayest thou thus upon poet's heart, vulture whose wings are dull realities?" So, Alan, Poe is so much against the science in poetry. Whereas I am firmly believer that science and poetry have same wavelength in a higher plane, and therefore science must enter in poetry. And science is in fact the core of poetry. My book, the Shevanticha Pakla, has an entire topic on science and poetry. And in so many poems I wrote on this subject, and firmly established in Marathi literature for the first time that real core of poetry is science. And my present poem is one example of what is the place of science in poetry. Now we all know, and we poets, we are always charmed by the stars in the sky, and instantly they give us a feeling of love. And out of that, so many poems are written in literature. Now, what I have shown in this poetry, when you bring the fact that by looking at the star, the poet is enthralled, but when he realizes that the star has been searching him for thousands of light years and travels to find him out through the dark universe. And then she loves the poem, the poet loves her. And when the poet realizes that she has traveled thousands of light years, thousands of years she has been in search of me, he is also enthralled. And then the star tells the poet that it's not this birth only that I love you, it's thousands of years you have been changing the form, but I'm still searching you and I'm still living. Once you get this dimension of science in poetry, the diameter of field of poetry and the perimeter goes beyond what we imagine. And therefore, science has a role to play in poetry. I firmly oppose what Poe has said, and I maintain that science has a place in poetry and that must be exploited. Now, in that context, I'll read my poem to you, which is given to in this particular compendium. And the name of the poem is Mystical Star. Now, distant shining star thee, thousands of light years away from me, still closer to my heart, nearest and dearest thou art. Incomprehensible thy relation to me, inaccessible thy thought, enthralling thy charm sets me free to soar heavenwards to meet thee. Dark is the universe, darker is my heart. Single ray of hope traverses while brightly shining thou art. The hope you raise in night instantly dies in day's light. Why do you ignite in me passion, mortal destine me to sink in ocean? Sore is my heart today. Why do you link? Tell me in clear words before I sink. What is the message in language of ray? What do you convey from so far away? Now, this is what the poet asks the star, and the star replies. Mystical star, bewitching her smile, Wordless though she was, something she did tell me worthwhile. Dear me, she thought of me because. In a language of rays, wordless though, said she, I love you. Message through rays that made you soar. Message through rays that made you soar, sent by me thousands of years before. Ceaseless and restless, I searched for you. For thousands of years through messenger ray. Where were you in and in what forms, hey? Where were you in what forms, hey? Hide and seek, you change your forms, while faithful me other to norms. Hide and seek is your game. Eternity and love is my name. You change your forms time and again. My love for you remains the same. I will continue to shine. I will continue to shine as a rays are language of mine. You alone will translate it in verse while love traverses the universe. And that is what the star conveyed to the poet. Now the poem is translated from my Marathi poem, and in which the last passage of the same poem, it says, नाती आपली युगा युगांची असंख्य बदलत्या आणि रूपांची चमचम मी चमकत राहीन कळेल सुरेल तुला मग एक कविता बस एवढंच मी सांगते आता. And that is what the message the star has conveyed to us. I hope this message is taken seriously, and we must bring science in field of poetry and enrich the poetry. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks for such a powerful message. And I'm so glad that you brought this dimension of science amalgamating with poetry, because things are not existing in silos. So they are actually together moving towards. So thank you so much, sir, for bringing out that dimension. Now,
Thank you.
Now with that, I'll go to Aarti ma'am, who has been waiting patiently. So ma'am, I'm so glad that we have three representatives who had seen human lives from three different facets. One from a doctor's perspective, other one from a human resource professional's perspective, and Aarti ma'am is, of course, from an educator's perspective. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Kamal, very much. First of all, I thank Literoma to give me this opportunity. And I am a teacher, as Kamal said, an educator over here in Mumbai. And I teach grade 10th and 12th standard. I teach English basically. And I started writing. I am very much close to art, and I believe in appreciating each and every kind of art. Now, for example, what I believe that whenever we watch a movie or hear a song, within a minute, couple of minutes, we say that yes, it is good or it is bad. But what was the effort behind it? It was whether the movie was good or bad. But irrespective of that, I care about the effort taken for constructing that, for making that. And writing poetry is the way teaching is my passion. Actually, I'm into education because teaching is my passion. The period when others think of retiring plans, I started my career from them, from that time. And it is so overwhelming to be here today with two such great people, great poets, great writers, Ankur ma'am and Satish sir. I'm really very fortunate to be here between these two people. And it's great too, means I really need to learn a lot from these two people. I just feel like I'm just a budding poet, a budding writer in front of these two. Talking about now the inspiration, and I love writing about love and romance. That is the thing, because I write whatever I observe. Writing about, yes, even I have written romantic poems, love poems about love for young people, means love between two young couples. But this one is about, I'm a feminist. And being a feminist, more than anything, I do think about women's perspective. Now, since we are from Generation Y, generation X, we people belong to Generation X. Now, the ladies, the women from Generation X actually are the sort of unique generation, I believe. Whether men or women, I believe that we used to hear a lot from our parents. Whatever, like we were parents' child, and whatever they said, without asking any question, without asking anything, we were to follow that, and we had yes, like okay, yes, whatever you say, that is patthar ki lakir for us. मतलब जो आपने बोल दिया वो हमारे लिए पत्थर की लकीर without any questioning. And today's generation, obviously, whatever they do, first they want reason for that. Why? Now, coming to this particular poem, inspiration was Tagore. It's Rabindranath Tagore sir's simplicity. I enjoy reading his poem, and I really love the simplicity what he follows. The simplicity not only in the words, the way he portrays, that we can literally visualize it, whether it is from the lesson or from the poem or whatever, with great depth. And when I was writing this particular poem, when we were given the topic, and I was writing this poem, I thought about Generation X, thinking about women, that these women, they sacrifice everything for their family, for their husband, everything. And when they're married, they're quite very young. I mean, so young that they don't know about the world outside their own world. इस दुनियादारी जिसको बोलते हैं वो उन्हें कुछ पता नहीं रहती उस एज में दे गेट मैरिड they are supposed to get married and they do get married at the age of 19 18 19 20 21 till then those who are taking education they literally just at the age of 21 they pass out their college and as soon as they pass out their college they are married without even knowing okay what is the outer world what is the outer world. And when I was writing this poem, I just thought, okay, a woman who sacrifices everything does not know about the love, does not know about the bond. She readily accepts that, yes, I am supposed to love this particular person, this particular stranger to whom I'm tied not with. And as in when she literally understands the meaning of love, she's totally given up her age. And when she has done all her duties, done all her sacrifices of her life, she comes back. I mean, that is the time she realizes, she starts understanding what is love. And in this particular poem, there's a small love story that she happens to see a man who is old, obviously of her level, and that is age of 55, 60, somewhat that. And the way they see each other, coincidentally, it so happens that she just gets attracted to that man. My poem ends. I have written all that okay, she gets attracted to the man and she's getting closer to the man without even talking. Without even talking, because this particular generation, the Generation X, our generation, we talk a lot without words. So I have mentioned this, and I have ended it with as a rhetorical question with a question: whether a woman who has reached this age and she really understands the meaning of love at this particular age, does she have the right to seek for a love or not? Or whether she's still tied into that, she's married, she has children, she has grandchildren, she has husband, so she has no right to love at all. I have ended over here questioning to this particular thing that whether a woman really has right, or when we talk of women empowerment, to what empowerment we are talking about. I have written other poems also on women empowerment, talking about the same thing, that how far we are empowered. See, anything she does out of love, that is a different thing. But all the time till the time when she gets married, every time, sorry. Every time she keeps asking a simple question, खाने में क्या बनाऊंगी? She has to wait for the children or the husband to decide, yes, what they will eat. Can't she cook something, whatever she feels like? Cannot she have a rest for one day? Supposing if the husband is not feeling like going to office or maybe not feeling like whatever, they can have leave. But can a housewife, because this generation X are normally women from this mind, they are normally housewives, not working. Now, can they not have that right to live on their own? That is my question to people in this particular form.
Thank you,
And when
ma'am.
she reaches
Thanks
this
for.
particular age, yeah, that is.
Ma'am, sorry, actually, I have to just cut you short because we're running out of time. We have to go to the next panel as well. Thank you so much for throwing light about the creation that you had come up with. So I like to have you all in our offline events in our future endeavors as well. And thank you so much. It was great knowing the contributions that all of you had made to this particular compendium. Thank you so much. And we'll be honored to have you all in our future projects as well. Thank you so very much.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
Definitely.
Looking forward for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, looking forward. Next year, at least next year we'll be able to make it.
Yeah. So our next event, by the way, is coming in August. I'll keep all of you informed, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.